Hey everybody, today we're going to tackle this area of my yard, which I call my container corner because I have my large containers here, and it's mainly a really plain cement slab right here. So this is just a way for me to put some color in here and dress up this area a little bit. And what I've been really wanting to do is to trim some of these evergreen hedges behind, and then also my boxwoods that are in these containers right over here on this side of me. And I have another one on the other side of the yard as well that needs to be cleaned up, not like a hard trim, but just trimmed enough to where it looks nice and tidy and that it will look really great through the rest of the summer that we have left and then into the fall. But let's just talk about these containers. I mean, honestly, they exceeded my expectations for what these things would do in these containers. There are 2 plants in each one of these, and they have just exploded with growth, looking vibrant with color. And these are mostly in the sun. I mean, we're in the shade right now because I've been waiting to do this work when the sun goes down to actually be out of the heat of the day. But these are in the sun mostly all day, and this Rediculous Coleus from Proven Winners has just performed beautifully. It's almost completely red. Every once in a while, in some of the more shaded spots of the plant, you get a little bit of green, but for the most part, the leaves that are in the red are a beautiful burgundy color, and they just shine in the sun, looking great. One plant. Now I have come through and I've trimmed off some of the blooms that have been developing to kind of, because we don't grow them for the blooms obviously, but I do trim them back a little bit, and every time I do that they just get fuller and fuller and thicker and thicker, and honestly they are so low maintenance. I've done nothing to these things except for trimming the bloom heads off and then also giving them some water soluble fertilizer when I do all of my other containers, which is more or less once every week or once every 2 weeks, depending on when I remember. But beautiful, highly recommend. I can't even believe this is one plant. This is absolutely gorgeous. Those of you who have grown this before know what I'm talking about, because these are a performance plant for sure. Now, this is a new variety down here in front, and I love how this goes with the Rediculous. This is the Cherry Drop Coleus, and it's more of a trailing variety, and I like really how it's to the bottom. It doesn't grow as tall. They have 2 different growth habits, and I wondered if we're going to trail over the side at all, and it actually has. And also, that's one plant. So in each of these 2 containers, I have 1 Rediculous and then 1 Cherry Drop Coleus, and look at how full they are. I can't even believe how this has grown through the season. And the really neat thing for me and new for me is the fact that I have so much color without any blooms. So it was a learning experience for me, and I definitely would do this again. A really quick side note about this Rediculous is I have this planted in another area of my backyard closer to the house that gets a little bit more shade, and I do see a little bit more of that variegated leaf. A little bit of green shines through. If you have it in a little bit more shade, the leaves are going to look a little bit different. If you have it in sun, then you're going to get a lot more of this beautiful red burgundy color. So that's something interesting to know for wherever you plant it. But honestly, wherever you plant these things, either sun or shade, because they can go in both, they are going to look beautiful no matter what. All right, so let's get to the work portion of this video. I'll clean up that hedge in the back, take care of these boxwoods, and then I'll see you at the end, and you'll see what a difference just a little bit of, hedge work can make in an area to make it look really nice. I don't even think I'm going to trim these at all. I'm going to let them still grow. They look beautiful with the fountain in the middle, but let's get those hedges trimmed so that this area of the yard is all ready to go as we head into the fall. All right, here we go, guys. Okay, so I got this all trimmed up, and I'm so happy with the way it looked. I actually trimmed it back a little bit further than I anticipated, and I know that we're still in summer, and I might get a little bit of browning. It's really not the opportune time to do something like this, but this is gonna be just fine because it's on constant drip. It's always gonna have moisture, and I really wanted that structure back in the yard. I was tired of looking at it being so woolly, and I just love boxwoods. I mean, cutting them into different shapes and things like that, I know that's For a lot of people, they have opinions on that. But for me, I do enjoy that structure, especially when I have things like this in front or over on this side that grow a little bit more free form. Having that structure really, for me, helps ground the area and create that framework that is so important. So I'm really happy with the way this looks. So now I'm going to trim this evergreen hedge here so that I really have a nice clean slate and a beautiful background or framework for what's going on in the front. So I'm going to get my hedge trimmers. We're going to get this all trimmed up, and then you're going to see the big difference at the very end. I know I'm the only person in the world that comes home from work and then trims up his hedges in white pants and his work clothes. But we're gonna do it because I'm determined. Here we go. All right, this is so much better. I'm so glad I got this done because I want the other things in my yard to be the focus, not the unruly evergreens that are all over the place that need attention. So that we can check off the list. So let's get this cleaned up and then take a look at how it looks at the very end. Here we go. So that's it. It looks so much better, and I'm so glad I came through today and took care of those boxwoods and the evergreens behind, because it really does make a really nice framework for these beautiful Coleus here in the middle. I think I would definitely do these again. It kind of gets me excited to try some different varieties because, again, obviously we don't need a lot of blooms in an area to create a huge impact. So if you have that beautiful framework along with these vibrant colors, I mean, wow, it really is a stunning part of our yard. And when I turn my fountain on here, it's just gonna look so fantastic. So we hope you enjoyed today's video, and we really do appreciate you being here, and we can't wait to bring you another video very soon. Until then, everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye now.